Lisa Schermerhorn here in the Grassroots Warrior Network, and this is my show Where Truth Lies. And I have my traveling companions. We're actually in the south of Spain in Marbella, and we have Joe Rosati, Michelle Skiao, Scott Stone.
We got Stone.
Carole
Maureen Friesen. And Lisa Schermerhorn here, and we have been having a ball. We started out in Ireland,
yes,
but I actually started out in Prague for the movie premiere for the movie that I've been part of with Joe Vitale, Zero Limits. And I was invited there for the 18th, and I was there with Renata Angelo doing their red carpet premiere. And then I joined these lovely people in Ireland. Now, they were part of Mark Atwood's event, and they all spoke. So I'd love each of you to kind of introduce yourselves briefly and then talk about what you did in Ireland.
Ladies first. Michelle?
We had the opportunity to be at Mark's Live 5D Health Center. And what a tremendous experience that was. I was able to experience 13 modalities that I had never done before, and it was really healing. The other thing that Mark did is he invited all of us to come as rebels across the pond, where we got to speak truths and share our experiences. So that was a wonderful opening, and now I will pass it on to Carole Maureen Friesen.
Hey, hello. Yes, we've had a wonderful journey over the last 3 weeks. We are on one of our last days together. And so, Ireland was amazing. Rebel Across the Pond. We had overlapped with Lewis Herm's event. He did a 5-day before us, and then we overlapped and did Rebels Across the Pond. And there was 20-some speakers, I believe. And they were from all over. Like I'm from Costa Rica, and they came in from the UK, United States. So it was really, really a great experience to be together again after we've been together on the Truth Tour. And we're really plugging Lewis Herms to become the next governor of California. So, and then coming to Spain to do a whole nother journey over here and be part of Lisa's world for sure in watching her shine in the movie Zero Point. Is it Zero Point?
Zero
Limits.
She's already on 0 point energy.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Marbella Film Festival is here. So we had our opening 2 days ago, and then tonight is the black tie dinner in my dress that was curled up into a ball in my carry-on suitcase. I have to see what that looks like now.
Yeah.
Scott and I we were looking forward. We thought it was just black ties. So
That's all they brought.
That's going to the beach.
Yeah, there happens to be a nude beach right down, so that'll be perfect.
anyway, so
That'd be a funny tan line.
Right down the middle.
Scott, what was your experience like starting in Ireland and now being here? Let's go.
Yeah, by the way, I'm Scott from Truth Stream. If you don't know that already, here's Joe. And Ireland, Mark Atwood is one of the most interesting men on the planet, and it was so good to hang out with him in person again. It's been a while. And the event was amazing. There was about 200 people crammed into a very interesting venue.
Warehouse.
And it was originally going to be a castle. There's a longer story associated with that we'll probably save for a later day. But absolutely phenomenal people. I don't think we could have gotten an American audience to sit and get hypothermia during the day to listen to 20 speakers, but it was a phenomenal panel of speakers. Maybe with the exception of Joe and I. And it happened to also be on my birthday. That was really a very memorable birthday. And then we got to go to some sacred sites that aren't really on the tourist agenda. Yeah. So thanks again to Mark for that. we moved some energy around and experienced some amazing things. That the healing center was phenomenal. Like Michelle said, really interesting modalities that many of which we haven't seen, and
State of the art.
oh yeah, and then Spain, of course, kind of a counterpart. We had David Mahoney as a guide for Andalusia, and so we've spent a lot of time in the car and seen a lot of things that, again, without a guide like that, you wouldn't see. And so we explored a Moorish castle. We explored a Roman amphitheater / Colosseum, which is phenomenal. A cathedral that was incredibly dark. We went down to Gibraltar and experienced monkeys. I'm sure we're going to get into that. And again, dark energy. But Marbella is gorgeous. The climate is perfect. And I love it here.
Yeah, and watching the way the women dress in Spain is absolutely.
I don't think they're
fashion's
coming home.
spectacular.
We're like, hello, we're here.
Wow.
Well, Joe and I are going on to Marrakesh,
Yes.
so a little bit of Africa. It's right there. Why not? So we'll probably do a show from there as well.
Well, I was going to add too that we not just went on sacred sites. We also filmed a 3-part series with David Mahoney Productions, because he's got a production company. He last minute phoned a videographer and got his film crew on site, and we spent 2
Cuba,
days.
I think.
Cuba,
Cuba,
yeah.
yeah.
We spent 2
He's a
days
cool
going around
guy.
to all these places, and look forward to you watching this adventure that
Yeah.
we've been on with. And he's done many productions, so he was right on key. Here's our group. Let's just get out a series, 3-part series on this part of Spain that he wants to share with the rest of the world.
And his enthusiasm.
Yeah.
What were you?
Well, we meshed so well because he joined us for dinner on the first night, and he joins a lot of people for dinner that he hasn't spent time with, and he was so relieved that we were all kind of in the same.
It was mainly these three, but
It was a lot of fun.
Now, he's got such high frequency, and he just brought everything out with us and showed us all the different areas. So we were able to experience and explore the dark and the light, and it was just such a joy. And he's been working all across Spain, all across the world, helping to bring the light into certain areas and clearing the darkness.
Yeah.
So it's been a wonderful experience, and it started with Mark
Yeah.
when he took
Mhm.
us to those sites that, like you said, we would never have experienced it unless we had the local director directing us into certain areas.
We definitely didn't break any laws when we did that also.
Because we are not part of the legal system. We're part of the lawful system that God gives us
There
all
you
the
go.
rights.
There you go. So,
Joe.
Joe.
they've kind of said everything. It's been a whirlwind between hanging out in Ireland and actually, I guess what was really cool, I already know it was cool for me, was playing in 3 little different venues. One was a restaurant, and then I was with Amy, who watches Truth Stream quite regularly, and gave Scott a wonderful birthday present in front of the crowd. She made him a little mini refrigerator, a mini version of her own refrigerator, which was quite special. And then she had me play at another pub with a lot of local musicians, which I had no idea was going to happen. And then, of course, the last night we were all together. It was great to play in a 12-person venue, which was a room and a restaurant. So that was pretty magical. And then to come here and with Mahoney, we've never met him. We've had him on Truth Stream a couple times, but to have this unfold, as I always told Scott, so I used to rush to get to yoga, and I was always like, this was in Park City, and he'd see me stressed out to get to a class to just relax. And he would joke about it. And I'm like, yeah, I prefer things kind of percolate and happen organically. And anyway, so this whole experience in Spain has just unfolded better than anything we could have come up with on our own. It's just been incredible. So.
Yeah, usually when I travel and I'm with other people, there's always some kind of an agenda, like on this day we're going here, that day. we came here not knowing anything, and then all of a sudden, Michelle came up with the ideas. Let's go to Gibraltar, Gibraltar, which I figured out. Then I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I had no idea that we had to bring passports because it's actually British territory.
Right.
And it's right on the edge of Spain, on
Yeah.
the south of Spain. And from Gibraltar, you can actually see Morocco,
Right.
which inspired their trip that's coming up.
Yeah.
But it was eerie because we first got in there. It felt we literally had to walk across after we went through customs. We had to walk across an airstrip
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get into the city.
The big dark cloud, it was sunny everywhere, but that big dark cloud
cloud.
over Gibraltar or Gibraltar was it was so dark and menacing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't realizing that Gibraltar wasn't registering with the rest of you. Because to me, that's the way I always heard about it.
She speaks a little
Gibraltar.
better Spanish. than
Spanish
us.
teacher.
She's a Spanish teacher, yeah.
I took French in high school.
So did I.
German.
But we got the best of all worlds, and we
Yeah.
all came from everywhere, and it's just bringing the family in together.
Yeah.
And that was really the cohesiveness we had yesterday with Mahoney and the day
Yeah.
before. It just really accentuated all of that.
Yeah, so in Gibraltar, there was with St. Michael's Cave. There was a light show in there with the stalactites and all of it. That
And
was
the
amazing.
angel.
And
The
Oh,
entrance
angel.
to Hades, really. So
Yeah.
we literally walked to hell together.
Yeah,
And
But
came
didn't
out.
go in.
Yeah.
I think that was in the van.
Yeah.
But it was
Oh,
so
God.
cute because the story is, as long as the monkeys are on Gibraltar, I was going to say, but Gibraltar. Now I'm having difficulty
Yeah.
registering that it would remain in the British as a British territory. So they're ensuring that the monkeys are
Yeah.
very
I was going
prolific.
to say, I don't think there's lots of babies.
We had so many babies; they were so cute. It was wonderful,
Yeah.
and I just loved when the monkeys were on our shoulders.
No, it's definitely worth a day to go see that. And then where else have we been to the beach? We walked around downtown Marbella.
Tapas, beautiful food.
The
It's
food.
been amazing. Now the food in Ireland, we won't even talk about that. Let's just say
Yeah,
that
we skipped
it
to
was there.
Spain.
the cuisine in Spain was
Breakfast.
the apology for the experience we had in Ireland regarding the cuisine. But oh my gosh, it's amazing. And
I
I love the
had
idea of
great
small
cuisine.
plates because you get to taste so many different things. And
My friend-
sangria
Yeah.
and great wine and
Caños.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I had great cuisine because I had this beautiful woman, Anita, who cooked me a home cooked meal, and that was my best
In
meal
Ireland.
in Ireland.
Nice.
But she's from the Czech Republic, so
Yeah, Czech food. You can check that one off.
no, they were a wonderful couple. Her and her husband Declan took very good care of me. So I ended up in Ireland just because they were here.
And we ended up in Spain
Because
because
I was
you were
coming
here.
here. Yeah, it all started with the Marbella Film Festival and then my friend asking me to come to her red carpet premiere. And this was amazing because I was at the gate waiting to fly from Dublin to the Czech Republic, and this wonderful lady was there with her family, and we had a 3-minute conversation, and she invited me with her family to take me all around Prague, which was amazing. And she and her husband took me to Newgrange, which is one of the, I guess they said it's one of the most prolific of all the sites. How do I even describe it? There's mounds there. It felt very extraterrestrial.
That was in Dublin or right outside of Dublin?
Outside of Dublin,
Outside of
Newgrange. It's kind of like their Stonehenge, but
Okay.
you go in and the light, actually the sun shines through. They took us inside and they replicated what it's like, but that's for the winter solstice. So that aligns with the winter solstice, but it's all these supposedly burial mounds, and they said they found people's skulls and bones all around the place. So they don't really know much more about it. And that's why I was fascinated, because I was not a speaker at Mark's event, but I was in the back And I was so riveted by each one of those speakers that I had to go to the bathroom for 2 hours and I did not leave that corner because I didn't want to miss a thing. Plus the heater was back there. So
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my seat.
Warm and uncomfortable. Only depends would have made it better, Lisa.
Yeah.
Well, that depends, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh my. So what were some of the other highlights for you? What for Gibraltar? Was it the monkeys? What was it about Gibraltar? Let's start with you.
Well, I liked it because of the history, because I knew the history between Morocco and Spain and the British. And the British were all conquering, and what they wanted to do was take the Pillars of Hercules and control that whole Mediterranean to Atlantic and Atlantic Mediterranean Seaway. So that's why Gibraltar is such an important point in history, because the Spaniards wanted it and England wanted it. Well, England's Armada controlled most of the world historically. And,
Well, Spain did too at one time.
well, yeah.
Quite a while.
Yeah, but
And
they
the
were
Portuguese got involved.
they were the last ones there. And so for the historical point, I wanted to go to Gibraltar. Plus, I knew the story of the apes, the Gibraltar apes, and how Britain was able to control that as long as the apes are there. Well, they're not going to allow the apes to die out.
Right. But was there something more to it than just the apes and the control and the energy?
Yeah, because of the energy. Also, it's an Atlantean port. And I, in the past, have seen where I was moving crystals in Atlantis to save them from the collapse. So that had some meaning for me, because I felt the energies there.
Mm.
And you did have the Atlantis that was at the port at the bottom of Spain and Portugal. And I really feel that that's
Wow.
where Atlantis is, very subterranean.
Mm.
And now if you've watched the History Channel, they've shown that they have actually found roads that are coming out of that area that were Atlantean. So for me, the history was very important, and I wanted to go for the monkeys because I just love the monkeys, and I just feel an affinity there. And the fact that we're so close to Morocco. I've always wanted to go to Morocco, and we could see Morocco.
Yeah.
We could see the best of all things.
Yeah.
But
I
the
love
end,
the Crystal Cave, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the light show in there
Oh.
was incredible. And yeah, it's something to behold. And the monkeys are great.
Well, the history of it. When you were in the cave, didn't you feel like what the people that discovered this cave? I mean,
Right.
they saw it by torchlight. Right?
Yes.
There was, we saw it with a LED light show kind of a thing. But can you imagine? And they say that there's no bottom to it. Now, we didn't get to see the extensive version.
Right.
And when you look up at the rock of Gibraltar, I'm trying to get there, you see all of these man-made cuts that look like entrances, and I imagine a whole honeycomb of tunnels and so on. And
Who knows what was
that
really
probably
going on.
connects with that cave. And it's interesting that the ancient lore, is that it is the entrance to Hades.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Hercules was trying to prevent that lure that pulled you into Hades. But yeah, and it was just incredible. Without the lights, you could actually see what looked like an Archangel Michael.
It was
right?
incredible.
That,
Into the cave.
Yeah. that was really neat. But with the lights, wow, it was really fabulous.
It was beautiful.
And definitely check out Lisa's Facebook for many, many pictures.
Oh.
If you want to walk through our daily shots and videos.
Yeah, I've been having fun with that. I love photography. I love playing around with it. So we had some fun shots and some videos of Dave Mahoney
Mm-hmm.
as well. Yeah,
Well,
So-
and how about the cathedral?
and inside, the cathedral.
What was that thing called?
This-
Catedral de Sevilla.
The what?
Catedral de Sevilla.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Seville, I think.
Yeah. So it's actually where the tomb of
Christopher
Christopher Columbus is. and
Who's
it's
not a good
massive.
who was not a good
He's
person,
not a good guy.
if you don't know that.
But you could get a sense walking around in that cathedral of every
massive.
single painting and statue
Except two.
too
Everything
was like dread and dark,
Dark,
and death
sadness,
and
torture.
sadness and
Yeah.
torture. It just the energy. I felt a vice on my
Yeah.
head, and I was excited to go in. And once I was in, I was like, oh, I think I
What
want to
did-
leave
what did
now.
you What did you see as we walked out above you?
Oh, yeah.
What was there,
A
Lisa?
reptile right above us. As you walk out of the exit, there is actually a giant alligator hanging over your head
Yeah.
It's so weird in a cathedral.
in a
Yeah.
cathedral.
Well, when it's a cathedral from the satanic viewpoint,
Yeah.
and you saw all of the pictures, all of the statuary, it all had children that
the
were the
bottom.
base, the foundation. So that also led to the darkness
Yeah.
and heaviness in them.
Also, the treasures in there. I mean, the gold and the emeralds
Jewels.
and rubies embedded in all these Gothic urns and goblets. And I think it was called the treasure rooms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And all their treasures that they've collected from the poor.
Yeah. You
And
felt the dark energy of what they
that was-
did in
yeah,
order to
how many people
attain those.
died
Yeah.
to even build that.
There was no
massive
joy in
structure.
looking at that stuff.
No.
I think we all felt that
No.
heaviness about it.
Well, the architecture was just spectacular. I mean,
Right.
It's so spectacular that you really wonder how human beings are capable of that kind of craftsmanship. The height of the ceilings, all hand carved. I mean, it was
Massive.
an absolute spectacle from an architectural standpoint. But the energy behind it and the sorrow and the, I just pictured self-flagellation and just a period of people looked at the world very differently. We went to an amphitheater, an ancient Roman amphitheater, a similar kind of thing. And there was a painting that was found there in the gallery. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it looked like Hecate. And it was a goddess, a deity that was sort of like Anubis, sort of the liaison to the underworld or
Well, there
someone
was
that presided over
Nemesis.
death.
Nemesis was one of them.
Right.
So this was really interesting because when I went into that amphitheater, I had this light feeling. Like it felt very tingly and light. And I had my pendulum with me and I was asking, and what was interesting, I talked to Dave about this because it was
In
so
Italica,
close.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Italica. So when we were, I was talking about Atlantis, and I said I felt like it was at one time used as a frequency place because the stones felt high frequency, and I felt like I was getting codes from there. And I used my pendulum, and it was confirming for me. And then as I walked out, it was showing me the that goddess. And Nemesis, we all think is your enemy, but I looked it up, and it's actually about equilibrium and balance.
Mm.
So it was a place of rebalancing and
Right.
equilibrium. Now, what was used for afterwards, it might have been used for other things. I don't know.
Well, they
later on.
likely build these dark
the
air
structures for
on
good.
these light
Yes.
energy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
To
like a
harvest.
node.
To
Yeah.
usurp it. To
Yes.
usurp the energy.
Great
Yeah.
word. Yes.
Well, we saw that a lot in Ireland.
Yeah.
The arrested energy. And prior to that, I was in Sedona, Arizona, and I really felt it there. I think, but back to Ireland. I mean, Aleister Crowley spent time in a castle that we were looking at. That
We did a show
Right
with
above
Mark
that.
Atwood. It was behind us.
Yeah. It's like they know
Yeah.
where to arrest that energy, because I think that's originally what helped humanity to flourish, and now it's been enslaved for so long, and I think that's what's changing now
Well,
in this
one of the
wonderful time we're in.
Yeah, one of the things I did, I was part of a metaphysical school in Italy, and one of their biggest things they talked about was clearing the ley lines because they were used to siphon off energy. And so there were a lot of trained healers and people who would go in and clear all of the ley lines throughout the earth. It was critical.
Yeah, well, sometimes they still use these structures to
Yeah,
harvest energy
harvest.
because how many people would have gone through those doors yesterday, all at 14 euros or whatever it was, and the Asian people that are in there. I mean, I would say 3/4 were Asian
Right.
that were in there, but where consciousness goes, energy flows. So
Right.
they're harvesting still in many different
Yeah.
ways.
The money, the energy.
The same time as light workers go through, we're clearing the energy. So you got to think of it both ways. And I don't discourage people from going to those places if you come with the right intention.
Right.
Yeah,
And protect yourself.
We're dragging Carol through all these dark places to change the energy.
Right.
But I'm always wearing white, as you
We
noticed.
help a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Right. What about the town of Rhonda? Well,
Oh, that was.
let's just talk about.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Help me,
Help me,
Rhonda.
Rhonda. I was waiting for you to say that.
Absolutely.
RONDA.
That's right.
Not H. Wow.
Start us, Lisa. What did you feel as you walked?
Oh, it was just breathtaking. I mean, I have photos. I mean, these massive
Crevices.
crevices and boulders, and then the town is right on top of it. But then way down below are look like almost monasteries or something. But what was it, like 200 or 300 feet below us?
At least.
Even more.
I think
More.
it was,
Yeah.
more like 1,000.
Almost
feet.
like a couple football fields.
Yeah, it was pretty far down. I was like, I don't know if that was mud flood, that there was a whole community down there, or if those were just intentionally built.
Well, it was said that some of it was factories, but I was getting the impression that what I was feeling was they were actual residences at one time in the Pueblo.
Well, we did
Yeah.
see. Remember the Roman columns in
Yes.
Sevilla with and they were a good
10 meters.
story below.
Yeah.
That was their original location, right? So it just showed how much everything was built up around.
Well,
What
the mud
was.
floods,
Yeah.
how they kept destroying the different societies. Because
Civilization.
civilizations, who would think to dig to find, where did the town go? Like, no one talks about, they're like, oh, we dug and we found bones and a whole city below us. I'm like, how did the city get below you?
Well, it's
No
like
one that-
Troy. I mean, there's like cities are built on top
On
of
top of
cities,
cities,
on
on
top
top
of
of
cities.
Civilizations.
Civ-
on
But how
top
did
of
that happen?
civilization.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to the original city? I mean, I know when we go to South America or we go to Peru is a good example. These Incan foundations was conquered by Spain, and you have the Spanish architecture built right
On top.
Yeah, and then you'll have these earthquakes, and it'll destroy much of the Spanish architecture, but nothing happens to the Incan ruins because there's no mortar. We don't know how they built those, even to this day, but they're kind of impervious to it. They're in complete harmony with the energy of the earth.
And that's the important part, is to have that grounding of the energy. Go back to the earth, to Pachamama, to Gaia, whatever you want to call her, but having that feminine energy. And then have it go rise up to the cosmos.
Yeah.
A complete connection.
So if we're bouncing all over the place, everything was a whirlwind.
And we did.
Which day did we do what and what did we
I have
eat?
no idea
Oh.
what day it is.
And I think because we had so blessed to have people that are from here that were just totally wanted to showcase their where they live and some of the history here, whether they were originally here or not, but also the sacred sites and the spiritual component of it. And we were blessed to have a vehicle too at both
Yeah.
places.
Yes.
To get around, if we would have had to do this by ourselves, you might get half a thing in one day and not
Yeah.
even know the culture behind it. And you might have 2 mirrors on the car. They wouldn't have walls in Ireland.
Yeah, the walls in Ireland. Yeah, it's one thing to drive because in Ireland you're on the opposite side of the
I'm
street
sorry, I missed that.
that you are in the U.S. And Michelle did have a wall that actually came out because a semi was coming into her lane. That's the story we're going to
Well,
tell.
the roads are is this narrow,
Yeah.
and
Right.
trying to fit 2 cars on it, it's terrifying.
Especially when one of them is a big truck.
Yeah, like they literally
Always-
pull over.
Always defer to the truck.
Yeah.
But I got to say, the weather, I think the forecast for Ireland was, well, certainly by the locals, they're like, we won't see the sun for months. You guys got here at the worst time.
Yeah.
And we had one day of rain and cold. It was our event. And then it was beautiful the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful here most of the time, but I mean, we've had
Yeah.
spectacular weather.
Yeah.
It's just, and the experiences we've had, all this happened, it just unfolded organically. It was beautiful. And this was a trip of a lifetime, and we entered into it with no real expectations.
That's the best part, and that's the thing that I always talk about is expect miracles and surrender, because
Or
every
create
single
magic.
creating our own magic. It's because everything that happened like suddenly meeting this woman and her family and taking me around, and then suddenly we get here, we have no plans, and suddenly we are off to Seville and off to all of these ancient places with Dave Mahoney, who's our amazing shooting a
Shooting
film
a high production value documentary that was
Documentary as a
also
film crew.
spontaneous.
with the film crew. It's a completely unexpected. Plus, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met.
And most interesting.
He
Yeah,
is.
most
And the women
was.
find him quite dashing.
He is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
He's very charming.
Your look said it all.
He's very charming and with a big heart,
Oh, yeah.
and
And a gentleman.
And a gentleman.
Yes,
He's
authenticity.
very gracious to us. I mean, between the horse and buggy rides and
Carriages. We had
The
carriages.
carriages.
He says, "My ladies, the carriage
carriage
awaits."
awaits.
Very gallant.
And his stories. Oh, the road getting from here to
right.
to Rhonda
To Rhonda.
Spectacular.
is one of the what did he say, the
What,
third
It's
third most, sixth or
the third best road that motorcyclists like, and the first road for
automobile.
automobiles.
It's the switchback road with mountain views.
It was
It
incredible.
gorgeous.
Spectacular.
Amazing.
It was beautiful.
I would never have found that.
No.
Yeah, so they love leaf blowers here, by the way. If you hear that.
Yeah.
At least they
they're on
wait
that
until
side.
after breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's our cue.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Yeah. Is there anything we're at about just over a half hour? Is there anything else you want to cover?
No, I mean I'm. You guys have an encore possibly in Morocco,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm off to Malaga, which is the next stop, and then I'm off to Portugal for another week. I think I don't have my return ticket yet, so we'll see. I'll probably be home around mid-October, and I'm just so grateful. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally thought I was just going to be in Prague by myself and be in Marbella by myself, and the connection of meeting your soul family, which is really happening now to people more and more. It wasn't just the location. I would never have had nearly as good a time if I didn't have all of you here, and I'm so grateful. And thank you so much for doing the show with me. I really
Of course.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks for having us.
It's
Yeah.
been so much
We forgot
fun.
the
We're
seaweed
grateful.
bath.
Oh, the seaweed baths
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Ireland.
See, but we
There
didn't
go.
because you just remembered.
Yeah. Yeah, on the coast of Ireland, what is it? The seaweed is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Magnesium, boy, it knocked me out.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on the way home.
Did you?
And it was ancient.
Yeah.
I mean, the big, huge,
Wooden.
the porcelain bathtubs, the old-fashioned bathtubs, and wooden sauna, like
Steam it.
steam.
What did you
Steam
call them?
boxes.
They looked like they were
Medieval torture.
medieval torture devices.
And
Oh,
all
got a
you
wooden
missed out on
lever
the
and you
photos of you two with the seaweed.
And all the copper piping, which
Yeah.
was really nice.
Yeah, I
Yes.
So
accidentally
it was really good.
took Joe's next album cover photo.
Yes, it's Lord Fauntleroy of the Sea. It's a fabulous array of seaweed on my hair.
Between that one and the one.
I'll have to insert that maybe.
One of Haley. Now you've got two album covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
No, so grateful for all of you because, like you said, don't have any expectations. Go with the
Yeah.
flow and let things occur organically and naturally. And what a fabulous
Yeah,
family!
and create
And we
our
keep
magic.
our family keeps getting coming closer and closer
Yeah.
to us and growing outward.
Yeah.
And then
We're
we're going
from
to the
all
beach
over.
together.
Yes,
Yeah.
now we're going to the beach. You're going to the nude beach from it?
No, I'm gonna-
He's
Honestly,
wearing a
I'm-
black tie.
I'm going to suggest that we brave the rocks to avoid the view.
Right. Well, I'm going to the nude
No,
beach with
I'm-
clothes.
I'm going to the new beach with clothes, and I'll look forward to seeing you in your black cravat.
His bow tie and speedo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you end
Yeah,
it.
no, you are welcome to.
We're all podcasters, so we all
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
over, right?
Yeah.
Please check out if you haven't Truth Stream, and then your show is called
On Rumble, the Lightworkers Institute.
The Lightworkers
It's called
Institute.
The Great Alignment. Is
The
the
Great
show
Alignment.
And
And
Michelle Skiao on Rumble and on Grassroots.
yeah,
Yeah.
check out Grassroots Warrior Network. While many of you may already be
Yeah.
on here, because I think all of our shows are
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And
Some of them, yeah.
here supporting Kevin Hoyt. He's in my prayers, and
Yeah.
hoping
There we go.
that everything goes well for him.
and hoping you enjoyed the laughter and can laugh with us.
And Michelle, how do you spell your last name one more time for everybody?
SCHIAU.
Perfect.
And if
Yeah.
you're in California or know anyone in
Yes.
California, vote for Louis
Louis
Herms,
Herms,
governor.
please.
And there's a big event in Carlsbad on November 8th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's during the day is a speaking event, and then
At
the
5.
debate
Yep.
in the evening. So it'll be, if you can be there, send friends. It would be great.
And we'll
Yeah.
see you guys there.
Support.
Scott and I are going, and
you wanna-
Michelle's going,
Yeah.
and we're not sure about these two yet.
No, it's my daughter's baby
Oh.
shower.
There we go.
If you want to check out a replay of the event with all the speakers in Ireland, Louis Herms did a phenomenal job with his speech, and that'll be available on TruthStream.
It's on Mark Atwood's Substack currently,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and we're starting to post in our locals on TruthStream some of the.
It's
speakers.
really fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat with every single speaker, and some of these, there was an American woman who is from Maine who lives in Ireland who's been doing a lot of work for the children in
Oh, right.
schools, and she's really a remarkable woman. Each speaker is more impressive than the next. So yeah, please watch it. It's really worthwhile.
Cool.
So thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the weed eater starts again.
Yeah.
There it goes. All right, everybody. On behalf of Scott and I at TruthStream,
Yeah.
Lisa,
Yeah, Where Truth Lies.
The great
Carole
alignment.
and Michelle.
Michelle Skiao, and you know how to spell her name now. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Introducing Syrona's revolutionary Nano NAD Plus supplement, Lucid. Syrona's breakthrough nanotechnology is transforming how our bodies absorb and use delicate nutrients like NAD. Instead of swallowing a pill and losing most of it to digestion, you simply place it under your tongue, where it's absorbed directly into your bloodstream. This sublingual method allows NAD to bypass the hostile digestive tract entirely. Even liposomal NAD can't truly solve this problem the way our proprietary nanotechnology does. NAD is essential for energy production and DNA repair, but our levels naturally decline as we age. NAD is the central redox cofactor, accepting electrons during vital processes like glycolysis, beta oxidation, and the TCA cycle. Without enough NAD, ATP production slows and cells face an energy crisis. Unlike NADH, which is a temporary electron donor, NAD+, the oxidized form of NAD, is what your cells actually use up in metabolism and repair. With our proprietary stasis nanotechnology, you get highly effective oxidized NAD+ delivered directly into your bloodstream. No needles, no clinic visits. It's simple, fast, and effective. And if you haven't heard, direct NAD delivery, like Syrona's Lucid formula, is now being intensely researched by doctors and scientists worldwide for Alzheimer's, neurodegenerative diseases, addiction recovery, chronic fatigue, anti-aging, mitochondrial disorders, weight loss, and many other chronic conditions. 1 month's supply costs less than $100, not hundreds or thousands of dollars like other NAD supplements. And this comes with results that not only rival other expensive treatments, in most cases, the results are actually far better and last longer. Visit Syrona.org to order your Syrona Nano NAD Plus supplement today and unlock your best self. No needles, no clinic, no house payment size bills, just results.